Hello, I am Chetna Singh and I am from BA Political Science Honours, and today I am going to present on the topic party system in India. So let's start. So firstly we focus on what is party system, the definition of party system. So a party system is a concept in comparative political science concerning the system of government by political parties in a democratic country. The idea is that political parties have some basic similarities. They control the government, have a stable base of mass popular control, and create internal mechanisms for controlling funding, information, and nominations. The concept of party system was originated by European scholars studying the United States, especially James Baisse and Moise, and has been expanded to cover other democracies. Giovanni Sartori devised the most widely used information method for party system. He suggested that party system should be classified by the numbers of relevant parties and the degree of fragmentation. Party system can be distinguished by the effective number of parties. So here the definition of party system will end. Now we talk about the types of party system. There are 5 types of party system. So the first type is one party system. It is a system in which a single political party has the right to form the government, usually based on the existing constitution, or where only one party has the exclusive control over political power. The second type is dominant party system. It is a system where there is a category of parties, political organization that have successively won election victories and whose future defeat cannot be envisaged or is unlikely for the foreseeable future. Third type is two-party system. It is a system where only two parties or alliances, typically placed either side of a center, have a realistic chance of forming a majority. Other parties are very minor or solely regional. Example, the United States. Fourth type is multi-party system. It is a system in which multi-political parties have the capacity to gain control of government offices separately or in coalition. Fifth and the last type of party system is non-partisan system. It is a system of government or organization such that universal and periodic elections take place without reference of political parties. Now we focus on the political party system in India, in our country India. So let's start. The Indian political party system is one of the most paradoxical systems in the world. As a system, it is rigid enough to withstand continuous defections and yet fluid enough to absorb new alliances. Inclusive enough to accommodate the immense diversity and yet exclusive enough to be controlled by one family. Mature enough to allow peaceful turnovers and yet inept enough to arouse spontaneous violence. And finally, old enough to become one of the world's oldest and yet youthful enough to produce new parties overnight. Its ever-evolving character, with strong qualities of adaptation and resilience, defies the conventional wisdom on political parties. Needless to say, the paradoxical party system is the result of several underlying tendencies. First, the unique texture of the Indian political fiber itself necessitates the existence of a complex party system. India is a federal state with a powerful parliament, as we all know, at the national level, and a strong panchayati raj at a local level. So we have a strong parliament at a national level and a panchayati raj at a local level. So, social identities based on caste, class, religion, region, ethnicity, language, and gender constantly overlap and undercut each other in the political arena, giving rise to new political alliances and fresh socio political conflicts. There are 25 linguistically distinct that generally harbor an anti center sentiment. 82% of the population practices Hinduism, although Muslims, who comprises only 11%, still constitute the world's third largest Muslim population. Women occupy only 7% of the national and state government seats, although they are now legally entitled to occupy 33% of all local government seats. Even though only 50% of the adult population is literate, in our India only 50% of the persons are literate and they are out of vote. In this context, political parties have become the most medium through which social and political interaction get expressed and managed. The impressive scope of political participation guarantees a central place for political parties. It is important to note that social diversity has not led to political instability. In India, political parties are either a national party or a state party. To be considered a national party, a political party has to be either the ruling party or the opposition in those states. In 1885, the Indian National Congress was the dominant political party in India. The dominance of the Congress party at both national and state level is known as Congress system, because only the Congress party has the power to rule at both levels, national and state levels. In 18 state levels. So, the other major political party in India is Bharatiya Janata Party, founded on the remnants of the Bharatiya Jan Sangh, created in 1951. The Bharatiya Janata Party is the leading party in the right-wing political condition called the Nation Democratic Alliance (NDA). When it was originally founded in 1998, there were 13 parties in the coalition, but currently there are 43. In the 2019 election, the NDA commanded 355 seats, which is a huge amount. Now, we discuss about some salient features of party system in India. So, the first feature is the Indian party system is a multi-party system. Since the disintegration of the consensus-based Congress system in 1967, the Indian parties have fit the category of a multi-party system. India has as many as 7 national parties and 48 state parties. Second feature is personality cult. Indian party system values the role of the leaders. Not anything else. When a party creates to leave a charismatic leader, it starts declining. So, in Indian political party system, the value of the leaders are very much important. After the death of Jawaharlal Nehru and Mrs. Indira Gandhi, Congress suffered adversely. Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee's death caused irreparable loss of the Jan Sangh. Because of the deaths of these leaders, their party suffers a lot. Third feature is the lack of ideological commitment. In Indian politics has become issue oriented rather than based on ideology. The existence of the National front government at the center was a candid example of issue-oriented politics, which got support from the extreme left CPI and extreme right BJP. Since 1971, elections have been won not on the basis of the inherent strength of the ideology of a political party, but on the basis of a issue of immediate concern to electorate. Fourth feature is communalism and casteism. Communalism is not a phenomenon confined only to India and other countries of Asia, but it can be seen in many parts of the world like Germany, Sweden and Denmark, etc. What is peculiar about India is that even the so-called secular person and parties adopt an opportunist attitude towards communalism. Fifth feature is factions within the parties. All political parties tend to be factionized. In non-communist parties, the faction leaders tend to be community, caste or religious client relationship among the members of different caste or communities. Such factional leaders view among themselves for political influence within the party and the government, and turning the political alliances with one another in order to keep their political rivals out of power. Most of these factional alliances are non-ideological. They also tend to shift a good deal, thus keeping the parties in a state of flux. The sixth feature is use of extra constitutional mean of power. So, in our party system, there are extra use of constitutional mean of power. So, let's start. Although electioneering and campaigning is an effort to capture a maximum number of seats in public offices, are said to be the main function of the parties. All the parties are try to gain maximum number of votes and maximum number of votes, and few parties are able to make a respectable showing using only these legitimized methods. As a result, political parties of all ideological persuasions frequently try to exploit political or social discontent to their advantage. They do not hesitate to use such non-parliamentary mean as civil disobedience. They disobey the civil rules and parliamentary rules. Mass demonetization strikes, protest rallies to embarrass the party in power, and some of these tactics may become violence. They also create violence because of these practices. And the seventh feature is lack of strong opposition. So, as we all know that India has a lack of strong, well-organized opposition party. A strong opposition is essential for the success of parliamentary democracy. The main function of the opposition is to highlight the shortcomings of the government and to compel it to become responsible to the public opinion. So here some salient features of party system will end, and now I'm gonna conclude my topic. So let's start. Politics in India is much rougher and much more corrupt than in the democracies of Europe and North America. Assassination is not uncommon. So all we know that our India has some of the drawbacks of our party system or constitution. We have more corruption than other countries. The reversed Mahatma Gandhi in 1948, the Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi in 1991 were murdered. Although it has to be noted that these were not really political assassinations. which happen more at local level. Communal, caste, and religional tensions continue to haunt Indian politics, sometimes threatening its long standing democratic and secular ethos. We all know that these practices also haunt Indian political system and also our party system. Our India our people of India were scared of these practices, and this also causes a problem in the system, in the working of system. The language used by political candidates about each other is often vivid. The parliamentary scene has been transformed in the last 6 years, with the BJP winning an overall majority in both the elections of 2014 and 2019. The leader of the BJP is a dominant and popular figure. The re-election of the BJP to government has fueled growing anxiety about relations between Hindus and Muslims. So, as we know that 2014 and 2019 elections was very good, and our Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi won the election with a high majority. And some of the problems created in 2019, such that the conflict between Hindus and Muslims, and this lead to controversial citizenship status checks to root out unauthorized migrants in border status. So we all know that our India, Hindus and Muslim conflicts are very much oldest, but in 2019 elections, after the winning of Mr. Prime Minister, we suffered from many of the problems, like citizenship problem, and it creates many problems in our Indian system. In spite of all its problems, however, India remains a vibrant and functioning democracy. In spite of all these problems, India has the powers to stand again, and we have a strong functioning democracy. It is a beacon to democrats in many surrounding states. So I hope we all discussed better on this topic, party system in India. So thank you.